जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन ब्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन ब्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी यशोदनन्दन ब्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम
वनमाली वनमाली मुरलीधारी मोर मुकुट गिरिधारी सिंह
वनमाली मुरलीधारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी वनमाली मुरलीधारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी
नित नित
कर माखन चोरी गोपी वनहारी नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी आओ रे प्यारे बोल के प्यारे आओ रे गाओ रे गोकुल के प्यारे आओ रे नाचो रे रास नचाओ रे हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम
हरे कृष्ण
मम्मी what about you?
tomorrow
Why?
say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Mataji. Hare
Akanksha.
Krishna.
So nice. Everyone wants to say Hare Krishna to Akanksha. Please unmute.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
God bless you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Very sweet.
Thank you, Akanksha.
Bye.
Okay. Let's start the class. I'll start with Mangalacharan. First, I'll share the screen. Okay, can everyone see the screen?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So I'll start with Mangala Charan. Om Ajnanatimirasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण everyone. So now will you sing behind me? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So you can unmute and sing behind me. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jayo Advaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Advaita Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
I want you to raise. How many of you all want to read? I will take your names so you can start reading. Poonam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Chapter 2. Sanatana Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a person in the lowest status of life can find direction in transcendental devotional service to the Lord. After Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order of life, sannyasa, he traveled all over India. During this period, he went to Malda, a district in Bengal, and in that portion of land, there was a village by the name of Ramakeli. Two government ministers of Nawab Hussain Shah's regime lived there, namely Dabira Khasa and Shakar Malik, later renamed Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. They had a chance to meet Lord Chaitanya And after meeting him, they decided that they would retire from the government service and join his Sankirtan movement. The two brothers at once took steps to leave their material engagements and appointed two learned Brahmanas to perform certain Vedic religious rituals in order to achieve complete freedom for the devotional service of Krishna. These primarily activities are known as Purushacharya. The ritual function of this process is that 3 times a day one has to worship and offer respects to one's forefather, offer oblation to the fire, and respectfully offer foodstuffs to a learned Brahmin. 5 items: the time, the worship, the offering of respect, the offering of oblation into the fire, and the offering of foodstuffs to a Brahmana comprise Prushacharya. In the Hari Bhakta Vilasa, the directional authoritative book, these and other rituals are mentioned. After performance of these religious rituals, the younger brother Shakara Malik Rupa Goswami returned to his home with an immense amount of money which he had acquired during his government service. The silver and gold coins he brought back filled a large boat. After arriving home, he divided the accumulated wealth first into two and distributed one part to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Thus, for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he distributed 50% of his accumulated wealth to persons engaged in the Supreme Lord's transcendental loving service. The Brahmanas are meant to understand the absolute truth, and thereafter, when one is actually engaged in the loving service of the Lord, he is called a Vaishnava. Both the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas are supposed to be fully engaged in the transcendental service, and Rupa Goswami, considering their important transcendental position, gave them 50% of his wealth. The balance was again divided into two. One part is distributed to his relatives or dependent family members, and the other he kept against personal emergency.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Very well read. Very nice. So we will now just see Lord Chaitanya Prabhu accepted the renounced order of life, sannyasa. So why did he actually accept? He was Krishna himself. But to set an example, he accepted the renounced order of life. And during those times, or even now, supposing if a Gruhastha is preaching, the masses take him very lightly. But when the same words are spoken by a sannyasi, it makes a different impression on the minds of the people. So that is why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. And then Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, who were working for a Muslim ruler, they by chance met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they at once took steps to leave this material engagements, to leave their job and everything, and they decided to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So see how much time it takes at once. So immediately, this is the effect when you meet pure devotee. At once, your consciousness is also transformed. And here, Goswami has given us the exact division of wealth. Okay, so how much to Krishna, how kept for yourself. So 50% of your total income should be given to Krishna. Out of the remaining 50%, 25% you keep for your personal emergency, and 25% you give to your immediate family members who are dependent on you. So this is a distribution of wealth. Now, can someone tell me why this is important? Why this kind of a charity or giving 50% of wealth to Krishna is important? who's so many hands raised, so I don't know whether you want to read or answer the questions. Anyway, you can just unmute and answer. Why it's said that so much to Krishna? And why is charity so important?
Cleansing our income and all, through how it has come, we don't know. So that to make purify.
I cannot hear you. Your voice is not
True.
clear.
To purify our the thing, Mataji, like we don't know how it has come
Okay.
through some impurity, impure hands, something like that. So also that should be purified, no? Like japa.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Maybe
yes.
we
That is
also
one
want to
reason.
come.
Hare
And
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Mataji, it is like everything belongs to Krishna, but presently we are not in a position to accept that. So gradually we have to come to that stage. That is why this is recommended. Even we see this in chapter 12, where Krishna tells
Yes,
different
yes.
from Ananya Bhakti to different Bhakti.
Yes, yes, that is correct. And who else wants to add anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji, maybe we should also, the more money we collect, we get more attached to it. So this is one way of getting non-attached to materialistic engagements.
Yes, yes, that is correct. Okay, so now I will say all your answers are correct. Now I'm just telling you the same thing in another way. For a Grihastha, charity is very important because charity makes the Grihastha's hearts very soft. And when the heart is soft, only then the knowledge can be retained or the knowledge can enter the heart. Till you imbibe some of these qualities, you cannot be open to Krishna consciousness. Okay, so you need to imbibe some qualities. One of this is giving charity. It is very important. Out of the 4 ashramas which we have studied in Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter, the Brahmachari, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. So the Brahmachari, the Vanaprastha and the Sannyas ashram. So all the people, all these 3 ashrams are not earning any money and they are totally dependent on the Gruhasthas for, for their living. We have to serve them, we have to do something because they have taken the shelter of the holy feet, and it is their duty to come to each and every house in the Grihasthas and then awaken the dormant Krishna consciousness in them. They just cannot say, okay, I'm a sannyasi, I'm going to preach. No, they have to preach also. And it is their duty. In one of the books, I said, it is written that sannyasi should not just go door to door and ask for alms. So they have to, like, bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, karo Krishna katha. So go to each house, speak about Krishna, awaken the dormant Krishna consciousness in them. So for these people to do all this preaching, they need food. We have to look after them if they are sick. So then who will do this? It is the responsibility of the Gruhasthas. This is one. And secondly, all the Gruhasthas, the householders, they have got a license to self gratification because they are earning money. Now, you all have done 18 days Bhagavad Gita, and you know, I will just mute you all. So you all have 18 days Bhagavad Gita, and you know what is how harmful sense gratification is. So if you are satisfying your own senses, that is known as lust or calm. And if you are satisfying the senses of Krishna, then that is known as Krishna Prem or love. So if we keep on hoarding money. Naturally, what we will do, all the Grihasthas have a tendency for sense gratification. They will use the money on themselves. And once you use the money on yourself, lust in chapter 2, that 8-step downfall, you have read that how lust is there. First you look, you moderate, and then that gives rise to attachment, and then attachment gives rise to anger, then attachment gives rise to lust gives rise to anger. Now anger is not satisfied, then your memory is bewildered, loss of intelligence, and delusion, and you fall in the material pool. So that 8-step fall down in the material pool is very nicely explained. So if we don't give charity, if we don't do our duty, then obviously we are not going to uplift ourselves spiritually. So here we are living now in a place where no one is going to come to your house door to door begging alms and going to give you knowledge about Bhagavad Gita. So we have got temples. Now the best place to donate is where there are so many sannyasis. They are doing such a nice job. They are preaching, they are calling people, come, listen, they are serving prasad. So the best way for us to give donation is to give it to Krishna, to serve those who are serving him. So we should give donation to ISKCON or any other Krishna temple. So this way our sense gratification becomes restricted, and once get into a habit, then it is very easy for us to go towards Krishna and the knowledge. See, now each one of us is understanding this. Each one of us knows the meaning of each and every, but that is just the words. Okay, we are not behaving in this particular way. What has been mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we actually start acting in that way, that means something has seeped into our heart. So to keep our heart soft, to understand the knowledge, and at the same time to keep our sense gratification restricted, we have to do some austerity. So charity is one, and they have given the breakup of how we should do the charity. Now this may not be possible for all of us, to give 50% of the wealth, but we must start with a small amount. Maybe it may be just 1%. For someone it could be 5%, 10%, but start with something and try and keep that fixed at a year, then go a little bit higher, a little bit. So make sure that you, when you see how Krishna will also help you. Okay, I think you have to start from here, Rupami. Or here, this distribution of personal wealth. Who is going to read? Rekha Mataji, I'll just unmute. Yes, you can unmute now. This distribution of personal.
Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. This distribution of personal wealth is very instructive for all who desire to be elevated to the advancement of spiritual knowledge. Generally, a person bequeaths all his accumulated wealth to the family members and then retires from family activities for progress in spiritual knowledge. But here we find the exemplary behavior of Rupa Goswami. He gave 50% of his wealth for spiritual purposes. This should be the example for every one of us. The 25% of his accumulated wealth which he kept against personal emergency, he deposited with a good business firm, since in those days there were no banks. Another 10,000 coins were deposited for expenditures by his elder brother Sanatan Goswami. Rupa Goswami at this time received information that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preparing to proceed towards Vrindavan from Jagannath Puri. He sent two messengers to receive actual information of the Lord's itinerary, and he made his own plans to go to Mathura to meet the Lord there. It appears that Rupa Goswami got permission to join Lord Chaitanya, but Sanatana Goswami did not. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami entrusted his responsibility in the government service to his immediate assistants, and he remained at home to study Srimad Bhagavatam. He engaged some 10 or 20 learned Brahmanas and began an intensive study of Srimad Bhagavatam in their company. While he was thus engaged, he submitted sick reports to the Nawab, but the ruler was very anxious for his advice in government matters, and therefore he suddenly appeared one day at Sanatan Goswami's house. The Nawab entered the assembly of Sanatan Goswami and the Brahmanas, and out of respect all of them stood up to receive him, and they offered him a place to sit. The Nawab said, "You have submitted sick reports, but I sent my physician to see you, and he reported that you have no illness. I did not know why you were submitting sick reports and not attending your service. So I have personally come to see you, and I am so much perturbed by your behavior. As you know, I completely depend on you and your responsible work in governing. I was therefore free to act in other matters because I was depending on you. But if you do not join me, your past devotion will be spoiled. Now, what is your intention? Please tell me." On hearing this, Sanatana Goswami replied that he was unable to work anymore, and it would be very kind of the Nawab if he appointed somebody else to execute the work that was entrusted to. Can you scroll, Mataji?
Entrusted to him.
Can you scroll up, Mataji?
Yeah, it's a screen. The Nawab became very angry with this and said, "Your elder brother."
Yes, I can see now. That was entrusted to him. The Nawab became very angry with this and said, "Your elder brother lives like a hunter, and if you also retire from the administration, then everything will be finished." It is said that the Nawab used to treat Sanatana Goswami as a younger brother. The Nawab was engaged in conquering different parts of the country, and he was also engaged in hunting, and therefore he depended more or less on Sanatan Goswami for administration. And so he pleaded with him, "If you also retire from the government service, how will the administration be run?" Sanatan Goswami replied very gravely, "You are the governor of Gauda, and you punish different kinds of criminals in different ways. So you are at liberty to punish anyone according to his activity." The purpose of his reply was that the governor was engaged in hunting animals and killing men to expand his kingdom. So let both of them suffer according to the acts they were performing. The Nawab was intelligent, and he understood Sanatan Goswami's purpose and left the place in an angry mood. Shortly afterward, he went off to conquer Orissa and ordered the arrest of Sanatana Goswami until he returned.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Very nicely you read, Rekha Mataji. So here we see these are the two brothers, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, and they were working for Nawab Hussain Shah, who was a Muslim ruler at that time. Now they realized, or when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, both of them decided that they want to go and join him. Now, if you see here, you will realize that both Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they were kind of having these sannyasi traits in them. So I think 17th chapter, or I don't remember which chapter, maybe 18th chapter, there are many qualities given. So these qualities are there. There are certain qualities, I think it is 16th chapter, which are very prominent if you are in the sannyas ashram of life. So here, if you go to see, if you read between the lines, you will realize that they did not just worry, what will happen to me if I leave my job? What will happen to my family if I leave my job? No, they were Brahmins. They had read the Bhagavatam, and there was 100% clarity in their mind that I want to serve Krishna. Who am I? I am the eternal servitor of Krishna. I want to serve Krishna. And here, when this Nawab said, was very angry with Sanatan Goswami, and Sanatan Goswami also did not budge. He, this Muslim ruler, he was depending on these two brothers for everything. You can say, you know, like the two important departments, finance department and home ministry department, both these brothers were handling everything. And this ruler was going, he was hunting animals, he was destroying temples, and so many other things he was doing. So Sanatan Goswami told him that you are the king and you can arrest anyone or put anyone behind bars. And this Nawab Hussain was so angry that he ordered his soldiers to arrest Sanatan Goswami. But all throughout, Sanatan Goswami was also so fearless that he did not worry whether I'll be arrested, I will not be arrested. He knew only one thing, that he is not going to serve the king anymore, and he wanted to go to Krishna. So he was very clear what he should do. So if you we have done the very first day only, the 6 levels of surrender. So in the first level of surrender is accept the things which are favorable for the devotional service, and reject those things which are unfavorable for the devotional service. So him serving the Muslim king who was hunting animals, destroying temples, so and even killing cows. Okay, it has been mentioned that this Nawab used to also kill cows. So all these things were totally unfavorable. So here, once Sanatan Goswami has taken that stand, okay, I'm not going to say this, he fearlessly stood by it and did not at all budge. Okay, even when he was arrested. So now we'll read on. So these are the qualities which you see even before a person takes sannyas. Who's going to read now? Rupa Goswami, Sujata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes. Rupa Goswami then learned that his elder brother Sanatan had been arrested by the Nawab. He sent information by messenger that the 10,000 coins in Gouda, Bengal, is in custody of the grocer, could be used to release him from the Nawab's detention. Rupa Goswami, with his younger brother, whose name was Sri Vallabha, then started for Vrindavan to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sanatan offered 5,000 coins to the keeper of the jail in which he was being kept in custody. He advised the jail keeper to gladly accept the 5,000 coins from him and let him go, because by accepting such money, he would be materially benefited, and at the same time, he would be acting very righteously in freeing Sanatan from spiritual activities. The custodian replied, "Of course, I can let you go, because you have done many services for me and you are in government service. I know that I am afraid of the Nawab when he hears
that you are free.
When he hears that you are free, I'll have to explain. How can I accept such a proposal? Sanatan gave a story which the custodian might submit to the Nawab as to how he had escaped. And he raised his offer to 10,000 coins. The custodian then agreed to the proposition, as he was very anxious to get the 10,000 coins and so he let him go. Sanatan then proceeded to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He did not go to the open road, but traveled instead through the jungles until he arrived at the place in Bihar called Pabda, and rested there in the hotel. The hotel keeper, meanwhile, was informed by an astrologer employed at the hotel that Sanatana Goswami had coins with him, and he wanted to take them from him. And so he spoke with superficial respect. You just take your rest tonight, and in the morning I shall arrange for you to let out of the jungle trap. Sanatan, however, was suspicious of the behavior of the hotel keeper, and he inquired from his accompanying servant, Ishan, whether he had some money. Ishan told him that he had 7 gold coins with him. Sanatan did not like the idea of the servant carrying such money. He was angry with him and said, "Why do you carry this death knell on the road?" Sanatan at once took the 7 gold coins and offered them to the hotel keeper. He then requested The hotel keeper, meanwhile, was informed by an astrologer employed in the hotel that Sanatan Goswami had gold coins with him and he wanted to take them from him. And so he spoke with superficial respect. You just take your rest tonight. In the morning, I think I'm repeating, I shall arrange for you to get out of this jungle trap. Sanatan, however, was suspicious of the behavior of the hotel keeper, and he inquired from his accompanying servant, Ishan, whether he had some money. Ishan told him that he had 7 gold coins with him. Sanatan did not like the idea of servant carrying such money. He was angry with him and said, "Why do you carry this death knell on the road?" Sanatan at once took the 7 gold coins and offered them to the hotel keeper. He then requested the hotel keeper to help him through the jungle. He informed him that he was on the special journey for the government and could not travel on the open road, and therefore it would be very kind if the hotel keeper would help him to get out of the jungle mountain. The hotel keeper replied, "I understood that you had 8 coins with you, and I was thinking of killing you to
take them.
But you are such a good man. I can understand. And so you don't have to offer me the money. I'll get you out of the hill track."
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so here we realize that now Sanatan Goswami was behind bars, and he had to be taken out of the prison. Now, the only way out was to bribe the jailer who was in charge. So, Rupa Goswami, when he learned about this, he first offered, he told Sanatan that you offer bribe, but you get out. So Sanatan Goswami first offered 5,000 gold coins, okay? But then this particular jailer seemed to be a very greedy person. So finally he gave all the 10,000. See, anything or everything for Krishna. This also should be our goal, that Krishna, anything and everything for you. So he gave all the money he had, and then because of that, the jailer asked him to leave this prison, and then he went. Again, it was not a smooth journey where he stayed in a hotel, and the hotel owner also was a greedy person, you know. So, but somehow with Krishna's mercy, it happened that he could get out. He didn't travel on the highway because there was every danger that someone may recognize him, because he was in the minister in the court of the king. So he used another path. He went through the jungle. Okay, now we'll read this. Who is next? Neha Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Sanatan
Mataji.
replied.
Yes, Mataji. Sanatan replied, if you don't accept these coins, then somebody else will take them from me. Somebody will kill me for them. So better you take them. I offer them to you. The hotel keeper then gave him full assistance, and that very night he helped him to get past the hills. When Sanatan emerged, he requested his servant to go home with the one coin that he had still with him, and he would go on alone. After the departure of his servant, Sanatan felt completely free, with torn clothing and with a water pot in his hand, and he began to proceed toward Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On the way, he met his rich brother-in-law, who was also in the service of the government, and who offered him an excellent blanket, which Sanatan accepted at his special request. Then he parted from him and went on alone to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Banaras. When he reached Banaras, he understood that the Lord was there, and he was very glad. He was informed by people that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying at the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya. Informed him, and he went there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inside the house, and he could understand that Sanatan had arrived at the door. He asked Chandrasekhar to call the man who was sitting at his door. He is a Vaishnava, a great devotee of the Lord. Chandrasekhar went out to see the man, but he saw no Vaishnava, no Vaishnava at the door. He saw only a man who appeared to be a mendicant. The Lord then asked to see the mendicant. When Sanatan entered the courtyard of the house, Lord Chaitanya hurriedly came to receive him and embraced him. When the Lord embraced him, Sanatan became overwhelmed with spiritual ecstasy, and he began to say, my dear Lord, please do not touch me. But both of them embraced each other and began to cry. Seeing Sanatan and Lord Chaitanya acting thus, Chandrasekhar was struck with wonder. Lord Chaitanya received Sanatan in this way and asked him to sit down with him on a bench. He was touching the body of Sanatan with his hand, and Sanatan asked him, my dear Lord, please do not touch me. The Lord replied, I am touching you just for my purification, because you are a great devotee. By your devotional service, you can deliver the whole universe of going back to Godhead. In this connection, the Lord quoted a nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. The purport of the verse is that a person who is a devotee of Lord Krishna, 100% engaged in devotional service, is far better than a Brahmana who is a learned in all the Vedic literature, but who is not engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. The devotee can purify every place and everything because he is carrying the Supreme Lord within his heart.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Very nicely you read. So here, see, now Sanatan Goswami is now going to meet Krishna. So first of all, he gives all his coins, all the gold coins to the jailer. Little bit also what is left, he gives that hotel owner. And then he tells, one coin is remaining, he tells the servant, you take this coin and you also leave. And when his servant also leaves, he is really relieved. Now he is alone. Now the march towards Krishna will be very fast. See, whenever you are having money and other people with you, your steps towards Krishna, yes, you can go, but they become slower. So all this denotes that you must not have any attachments. You must march towards Krishna. You must be only attached to Krishna. So here he arrives at the door, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requests Chandrasekhar Acharya to receive him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very happy to see Sanatan Goswami, and he touches his body, and immediately Sanatan Goswami says, "Please don't touch me, please don't touch me." So Jesse, now again I'm coming back to the 6 levels of surrender. In 6 levels of surrender, the last level which they have said is one should consider oneself to be very meek and humble. Okay, so you must never have any pride in you. Oh, I'm such a big preacher. Oh, I've read Bhagavatam so many times. I'm a Brahmin, or I am such a great devotee of Krishna. So all that should never be there. Here, just see how Sanatan Goswami is. What is his thinking? He doesn't consider himself to be a pure devotee. And here, Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is touching him. So he feels that he is not worthy of being touched. There is one more example in this connection. I'll just quickly tell you. Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Puri, and Sanatan Goswami also had come to Puri. So along with one disciple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent a message to Sanatan Goswami to come and meet him. And Sanatan Goswami was very thrilled. Oh, I'm so happy the Lord himself wants to meet me. So there were 2 roads by which you could go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house. One road was a shady road where there were many trees and there were many houses where all the Jagannath temple pujaris lived. And the other was a longer road. It was just walking on the beach. And then you could go to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now Sanatan Goswami is thinking, oh, I have served a Muslim ruler. This Nawab is there, has killed so many animals. He has killed so many cows. He has destroyed so many temples, and he is a greedy person and a corrupt ruler. So now, because I was serving him, even I have become corrupt. And if I take the shorter route and the route that is very shady, what will happen? Suppose by chance, if any Jagannath Mandir Pujari by chance just opens the door and he sees me, then all his he will be he will become impure, or seeing me, he will become so impure that he will not be able to worship the deity. So now I should not take the road where all the houses of the temple pujaris are there. I will take the road along the beach. So it was the month of April, May, and the sand was very hot. And on that hot sand, he walked for about 1 to 1.5 hours. And then he reached the house of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to sit, he saw his feet, there were blisters and it had become red. So he asked him, why did you do like this? So Sanatan Goswami told him. So see, this is what a devotee feels. That he feels that he is, even more lower than a blade of grass. He never will think, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I have read Bhagavatam so many times. I've read this, I've read. No, he will feel on the contrary. He will feel that I'm lower than the lowest. So this is one level of surrender. Okay. We will read 1-2 paras now. Barkha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
In the Vedic literature, it is also stated that the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not recognize even a person who is very learned in all the divisions of the Vedas, but rather he likes a person if born of a low family, provided that person is a devotee. Instead of offering charities to some Brahmanas who is not a devotee, if something is offered to a devotee, that offering is accepted by the Lord. In other words, anything offered to the Lord may be given to his devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam that if a Brahmana, although qualified with the 12 different qualities of a Brahmana, is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord, then he is lower than the lowest of the low, even though born in a high family. A devotee, although born in a Chandala dog eater family, can purify his whole family for 100 generation, past and future, by devotional service, whereas a proud Brahmana cannot even purify himself. It is stated in Hari Bhakta Sudhodaya, O devotee of the Lord, to see you is the perfection of the eyes, to touch your body is the perfection of the bodily activities, to glorify your qualities is the perfection of the tongue, because it is very rare to find a pure devotee like you. The Lord next said to Sanatan that Krishna is very merciful and is the deliverer of the fallen soul. He has saved you from Mahar,
Maharauraba.
Maharauraba. This Maharauraba hell is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is for the person who are engaged in killing animals. It is stated that there that butchers or animal eaters go to that hell. Sanatan replied, I do not know the mercy of Krishna, but I can understand that your mercy is causeless upon me. You have delivered me from the entanglement of material life. Then the Lord inquired, how did you get free from your custody? I understood that you were arrested. Sanatan narrated the whole story of how he was released. Lord Chaitanya then informed him, I have seen your two brothers and I have advised them to proceed towards Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya now introduced Chandrasekhar to Sanatan, and there was a pleasant invitation made for Sanatan to dine with him. The Lord requested Chandrasekhar to take Sanatan to the barber and make him gentle, because Sanatan had grown a long beard which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like. He therefore asked Chandrasekhar to take Sanatan to a bath and get him clean shaved. He asked him to change his clothes also. After taking a bath and cleaning himself, Chandrasekhar offered some good clothes. When Lord Chaitanya was informed that Sanatan did not accept new garment but accepted only some used garment from Chandrasekhar, he was very glad. The Lord sat down for lunch and asked Chandrasekhar to keep food for Sanatan. Chandrasekhar did not offer him food immediately, however, but after the Lord finished his eating, there were some remnants of his foodstuff, and thus was offered to Sanatan while the Lord went for his rest. After this, Lord Chaitanya introduced one Maharashtrian Brahmana, his devotee, to Sanatan, and that Maharashtrian Brahmana invited Sanatan to accept lunch daily at his place, as long as he remained at Banaras. Sanatan said, so long as I remain at Banaras, I will beg from door to door, and the Lord will be so good as you accept from you this invitation for daily lunch at the Brahmana's house. By this behavior of Sanatan, Lord Chaitanya was very much pleased, but he noticed the valuable blanket that was given to Sanatan by his brother-in-law while en route to the Banaras. Although Lord Chaitanya was overlooking the blanket, Sanatan understood that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not approve of such valuable garment on his body, and he planned to get rid of it. He immediately went to the bank of the Ganges, and there he saw a mendicant washing an old quilt. Sanatan asked him to trade the old quilt for the valuable blanket.
The poor mendicant thought that Sanatan was joking with him, so he said, "How is that? You appear to be a very nice gentleman, but you are mocking me in unmannerly way." Sanatan informed him, "I am not joking with you. I am very serious. Will you kindly exchange the torn quilt for this blanket?" Then Sanatan exchanged his blanket from the torn quilt and he came before the Lord. The Lord inquired, "Where is your valuable blanket?" Sanatan informed him about the exchange at the Ganges of the blanket for the torn quilt. The Lord then loved him for this and he thanked Sanatan. "You are intelligent enough and you have now finished all your attraction for material wealth." In other words, the Lord accepts a person for devotional service only when he is completely free from all materialistic possessions. The Lord said to Sanatan, "It would not look well to become mendicant and go begging from door to door while at the same time you have such valuable blanket on your body. It is contradictory and people would look at it with abhorrence." Sanatan replied to the Lord, "Whatever I am doing to become free from material attachment is all your mercy." The Lord was very much pleased with him and both of them discussed spiritual advancement.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very nicely read. Thank you. So here you see that the spiritual master, here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very much closely watching his disciple. He was closely watching Sanatan Goswami. Okay, what he is eating and what is his way of thinking, everything very, very minutely. And when he realized that Sanatan Goswami even gave away the valuable blanket he had, and for just a torn quilt, just to protect himself from the harsh cold. So when he saw one by one that, okay, he's not interested in eating food, he's not interested in anything else apart from devotional service, that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very happy. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to him about spiritual advancement. So if you see in teachings of Queen Kunti, if you have read that book, so in that book, Queen Kunti tells Krishna that you are the property of material impoverished or akinchan. Okay, so meaning of akinchan means those who have nothing to give materially. So here, by the time Sanatan Goswami, when he left his place, when he came out of the prison, yet he had a few gold coins. All that money was also given. Now when he came over here, he had an expensive blanket. That blanket also he gave, and even his desire to eat food was also not there. It has been written that these two brothers, Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, ate food only for their soul and body to be together. They never even accepted little more than what was required. So we see all this, that once you are done with all the material opulences, or no material desires, the only desire is to serve Krishna. That time the spiritual master can actually reveal the knowledge of Krishna to you. Okay, so we will let's. Okay, do you want to finish this? Just one verse is remaining. Previous to this meeting, anyone who will read? Neha Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, just this last.
previous in this meeting of Sanatan and Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya met the householder devotee. Ramananda Roy, in that meeting, which is discussed in a different chapter, Lord Chaitanya asked Ramananda Roy questions and Ramananda replied as if he were the teacher of Chaitanya, if he were the teacher of the Lord. But in this case, Sanatan will put questions to the Lord and the Lord will answer them. The instructions and teaching of Lord Chaitanya are very important for people in general. He teaches the process of devotional service, which is the constitutional positions of every living entity. It is every man's duty to advance in spiritual science. All these things are very nicely discussed in the talks between the Lord Chaitanya and Sanatan Goswami. At the mercy of the Lord Chaitanya, Sanatan was able to put questions before him, and these are replied to properly. The meetings of Sanatan and Lord Chaitanya teach us that in order to understand spiritual subject matters, one must approach a spiritual master like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and make submissive inquiries. This is also confirmed in the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita that one should approach a man of authority and learn from him about spiritual science.
Thank you so much. So this has been said that how you should approach the spiritual master in Bhagavad Gita, the fourth chapter. It has been said that you should serve your master and you should inquire submissively. Okay, so pariprashnena sevaya. So you have to inquire submissively and you have to serve your guru. So after serving your guru, being submissive, then you can ask your question. So here we see that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks to Sanatan Goswami only after he sees that he is a kinchan or materially impoverished. Then actually the talk starts. So now should we start chanting? Then I'll take if you have any questions. Okay. You can unmute. Yes, you can unmute. I'll say the Panchatattva mantra and we all can start. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare